Guys, we're working with our friends at DraftKings, the official gaming partner of the UFC, to put you at the center of the action with a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. Download DraftKings and enter the UFC 258 daily fantasy contest with millions of dollars in total prizes up for grabs all week long. Here's how to play. Draft 6 fighters from Saturday's card. Stay below the $50,000 salary cap and rack up fantasy points for advances, takedowns, knockdowns, and more. Full rules and scoring can be found at DraftKings.com/MMA. I'm picking Usman over Burns if that helps you. If you're a new user, go to dkng.co/Sonnen. Use the promo code Sonnen when signing up and you'll get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. Usman Burns, I gotta tell you guys, I have not got what I wanted out of this. I haven't. There is a story here. Is a story that everybody would get and relate to, which is teammate versus teammate. And let me tell you guys the backstory. I'll tell you where I'm talking about I'm not getting what I wanted, but let me give you the backstory real fast. Okay, Burns, Usman, training partners, teammates, same weight class, same organization of the UFC, same dreams, helping one another. Good friends, helping one another. Usman leaves the gym, goes to Colorado, start training with Trevor Whitman. Working out every day, Justin Gaethje, just by example, right? Great gym. Sure, he's getting an awesome workout. But when he left, Henry Hoof and the coaching staff of that gym they were at said, we want the 70-pound belt back in our gym. And we have the guy to go get it. It's him. It's Kamaru's teammate, Kamaru's friend, and Kamaru's training partner, and we know he can beat him. So when I'm telling you I never got what I wanted, I want to hear more about that. Why do you know he can beat him? What is it that you saw in the room? And we have seen stories like this where they push back, but then you don't get the fight. I mean, one example would be Chuck versus Tito, if you want to go back. Those guys worked out together, and Chuck beat him in the room every day. So Tito goes on, he was more charismatic. He was a bigger character. The company pushed him, but they kept him away from Chuck. Tito was very happy with that. Tito knew, I cannot beat Chuck. Chuck never said anything. Chuck was his friend. Those workouts, that all meant something to Chuck until it didn't. And eventually enough time went by and Chuck goes, man, I got a window too. And I deserve to get whatever I am good enough to get. And that includes the world championship, friend. And Tito started doing the, wow, we're friends. And Chuck's going, yeah, it's easy for you to say when you're on top of the bill and you're making all the money and you're recognized for what you are as the world champion, but I'm better than you. And so all of a sudden you had trouble in paradise, but they avoided that fight for a meaningful period of time because of that narrative. Usman didn't flinch once. Kamaru Usman not one time said, hey man, I wish Burns all the best, but he's my brother. I'm not going to fight. Usman didn't flinch once. And Usman has also never come out to tell his side of things, which is, I have the foggiest idea how these coaches or anybody can see us training every day together for 6 years and think that he's better. Usman said nothing. Typical Usman style. Burns has also said nothing. Burns has also had an extremely gentleman approach, which has nothing to do with Usman. Nothing personal, no belt backs, no anything. We're in the same division, doing the same thing, under the same rules, with the like-minded goals. But that doesn't serve me. Chael wants, what's the story? And there's always some give and take, right? There's always multiple versions. Well, on a stand-up day, I really felt like Kamaru got the best of him. And on a pure wrestling day, and then, we had jiu-jitsu practices, and it kind of looked like in these positions, but you start to get this push and pull. You start to get this back and forth. We had a glimpse of this recently. 5-6 months ago, Renan Barão weighs in on when Peter Yan used to come and train with them. And them, of course, included Jose Aldo. And Renan Barão said, look, I saw those guys go a lot. Peter Yan's a total stud. I've never seen Jose Aldo lose one round in practice to him. talking about Jan. And as small and light as that might be, that's very interesting. That's a story that doesn't go away. That is a story that happens somewhere along the way with like Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson. And they got a workout in way back in the Cusimano days. So they were kids, 19, 20, 21, still coming through the amateurs, still bright eyes on amateur world, amateur Olympic aspirations. And Cusimano said, don't bring that guy in here anymore. Talking about Lennox Lewis. Keep him away. Keep him away. And Lewis never told that story until they were both grown men. Then Lewis came out and told anybody that would listen, man, I whipped this guy when we were kids. I whipped him so bad they kept us apart. I whipped him so bad they wouldn't give me my opportunity. He was the big draw, and I speak with this funny accent. They didn't want to use me. And all of a sudden we started telling us, oh my God, I guess we got to get these guys together. It was one of those things, but those training room stories are extremely real, and they're extremely valuable, particularly when guys have a different opinion. I was there. I was at Team Quest in the room every day when Tim Sylvia came out and trained with Randy Couture. Randy then retired. Tim went on to be the champion of the world. Randy comes out of retirement to challenge Tim Sylvia. And I was there. I watched what happened. And Randy did beat him. They were very hard workouts. Randy did beat him. Well, Tim came in very openly and talked about it. He said, man, I was out there training with him in his gym. I was staying with him, and I respect him. So I took it easy on him. And it was very compelling for me because then I was thinking back to those workouts. Well, you know, there was some positions where Tim did look like he was going a little lighter than I saw Tim go with the rest of the guys. So let's say Tim was holding out, and I think he was. I think Tim Sylvia told the truth. It was holding out enough, if he hadn't hold out, to beat Randy. And this is ultimately what the fight was about, but there's something compelling about that. And I haven't got this on this fight. I haven't got it because these two are gentlemen and they're competitors first, right? And if you're a competitor first, followed by being a gentleman, and you're not a showman or a sportsman, then we're not going to see these things. So these guys get a ton of credit. They've handled everything where I got no problem with it. I'm just surprised that nobody's leaked. Teammates leak. Telephone, telegraph, or telefighter, the story's going to get out. No one's leaked. And the most that we've got the coaches to say was, we want our belt back. And this is the guy to get it. Now, for me, those are fighting words. Those are headline worthy. Those are awesome. I didn't get enough of them. I wanted a little more.